Greetings and salutations, Tube Dwellers. I'm your host, the Mad Bag, and this is Dota 2. I'm going to be casting a replay for you that a friend of mine played. This is a game. I'll go ahead and introduce him first. I'm not really going to introduce most of the players. I will show you the heroes, though. My friend here, Hoodman. Yeah, he sent me a replay. He said it was a decent one. I don't think he necessarily expected me to cast it, but you know what? I'm going to cast it anyway. First chance I've got at a game that I have not seen. Let's run over the heroes real quick. The Radiant and the Dire. What do we have here? We have an Enchantress and a Slark on bottom lane. We've got a Clockwerk. Looks like he's going to head mid. He's checking the rune. We've got a Bane on top. And then I assume that Tinker will probably end up going top. Tinker I normally see run mid. And I would normally see a Clockwerk go help Bane out up here. You know, that Tink would run mid solo. But looks like that's not what they're going to do. Clock is taking mid. Now, the Dire side, though, actually does have two mid. They've got the Viper. No, actually, I'm wrong. The Death Prophet took off. So they've got just the Viper mid. It looks like their bottom is going to be Kunkka and the Death Prophet. So that's where she ran off to. And then in the top lane, we have Riki and the Bloodseeker. All the double melee. It's kind of hard to run two melee in a single lane. Whoa, we have some trading going on down here. There's already some hit point amounts being lost. A Crypt Swarm coming out from our Death Prophet. Going to dust the Enchantress. Make her think twice about staying so close to that front line. As I was saying, though, I think this is going to calm down for just a second, maybe. It's really hard to run double melee in a lane. Because if they have even one ranged, they can get damage on you if you go up to damage creeps. So it can be a kind of nasty prospect to just try to... Whoa, a pounce coming out from Slark. It looks like he didn't quite get the Death Prophet. He's going to get a couple attacks off on Kunkka, and it looks like the Enchantress was helping him. So he's going to lose quite a bit of hit points, and they're going to get skittish, understandably so. Slark, though, is losing just as much of his health. And honestly, the Enchantress doesn't look great. She did pick up Enchant first. So if she wants to, she can go pick up a little creep help. Oh, another pounce. They're trying to get Kunk. He came too far forward. It's going to start off with a bang, this one. And first kill goes down, but Slark falls to the Death Prophet. Nice trading here. It's 1 for 1. Of course, the Radiant did take the advantage there for snatching the first kill. But it wasn't a huge advantage. It was sizable, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to underestimate that first blood. They got it, and that's great. And sure enough, actually double ranged. Oh, yeah, I forgot Tink was over here. So Tink and Bane against the double melee here of Riki and Bloodseeker. They can just... See, I don't know. Hoodman shouldn't even be able to. Oh, a Nightmare! They put him asleep for just a second and did some damage. There's a laser and a heat-seeking missile from the Tink. He's trying to put the pain in, and that's what they should be doing. A couple melee in this lane have no business being up attacking creeps unless they're under the cover of their tower. Kunkka out here soloing. The Clockwerk looks like he's... I was going to say he's looking for a gank, but I think he was just checking the rune. He's checking the positioning of the Viper, although the Viper is auto-attacking, so he didn't necessarily need to do that. The Enchantress has picked up her Nature's Attendant, her Wisp help. Oh, and with the heal, they're feeling confident. They're going to jump on Kunk. He gets a good torn off that catches both of them. Kunk looks like he's going to make it out. Slark being... fairly forward, but cautious at the same time, backing off. Kunk's got decent health, and this passive AoE attack that he has can be really nasty. All he's got to do is get in attack off on some creeps, and he can be doing damage to the heroes quite a ways behind him. The melee of the top from the Dire side being held back, just as I would expect. Enchantress is getting a little far forward here. Whenever you're facing Kunkka, this torrent that he has, it's basically a lift stun. If it hits you, your hero goes flying up in the air, you're disabled for a moment, it does some damage. It takes a second to fire, though. Whoa. Enchantress putting her wisps back out for a couple more heals. Just a couple missiles going off on top. Nothing huge. They're jumping on Kunkka again. They got him. The pounce put Slark right in line. They are both low health, so they're going to be... a little skittish. Death Prophet looked a little bit out of action there, but she's going to come in for the Slark. Can Slark juke? Slark's juking. He's jiving. He's below 20 health, and down he goes. Death Prophet picks up another kill. That's going to have the overall at 3 and 2, though, in favor of the Radiant. The middle, ooh, Clockwerk is going heavy on the Viper. He's going to get close with his Rocket Flare, but it's not quite going to do it. The Rocket Flare doesn't do huge damage. It's more of a utility ability. It looks like in the meantime, the Bloodseeker was picked off up here. I'm pretty sure. I guess I could check that score. No, he actually wasn't. So Kunkka's both of those kills. The Death Prophet at some point in time I missed a kill on. That's quite alright, though. Caught most of that bottom lane action. The 2 bottom lane for the Radiant. Looks like Slark was just healing up and he's now coming back out. And the Enchantress is healing up. Totally delinquent from their lane. That's given the Dire a great opportunity to push down here. They're going to get a little bit of tower damage, but at the same time, the Radiant are doing that on the top. So, nice little equal turnaround. It looks like the Radiant are getting more damage on the top, though. Somebody's calling Mia. I think it's the middle. Viper is on his way back. And Slark looks like he's setting up for a tricky maneuver. They see it, though. They're going to be skittish. They don't know if there are other heroes here as well. And that was actually a good move from Slark. The only disable between these 2 heroes is Kunkka's Torrent, and you can kind of juke it easily. It really works best if the heroes are standing still, auto-attacking something. But there's no disable here, so Slark just popping up back there. He wasn't really risking his hide, and that got them to back off the tower. Little Crypt Swarm coming out here. I'm going to stay on this bottom lane. Slark's going to pounce on Death Prophet. A Torrent does go off, hitting the Enchantress and Slark, but Death Prophet doesn't take the opportunity. She stays in, and she gets iced. Kunkka's going to go ahead and run. He's got plenty of health. He should be fine. Oh, he's going to get caught, though, by a... I don't even know what that was. Is that part of the pounce? That must be part of Slark's pounce. I am unfamiliar somewhat with his ability. It looks like the Enchantress does already have an Urn of Shadows. She's going to give a charge of that to the Slark, just to keep them in ship shape fighting. Viper getting some solo farm in the mid. And let's go ahead and check out, mentioning that farm, let's go ahead and check out last hits and denies. Looks like we've got the Tinker leading, which is kind of surprising over here in mid lane. That would be one of the main reasons he normally goes mid. Fairly high damage and ranged attack. A solid ranged attack at that, 500. Few higher, 600 here and there, but not many. Viper is rocking up the... and he just now took over first on last hits. Out here in the middle. The Clockwerk isn't doing the best. He's actually at 4. He has denied a little, but I think he's been doing a decent job at keeping the Viper from just being too absolutely bonkers about... Wow, this bottom lane is so impetus. Yes, the Enchantress is level 6, and she is using the ultimate, and she gets it. The Enchantress's ultimate does more damage the further the target is away from her after she fires the bolt. That means if you're running away, it basically does extra damage. And she used it to its greatest effect there against the Death Prophet. Oh, and the Clockwerk goes down. Hold on, sorry, that was mid. Viper just took him. Let's see if I can tell what it was with. It looks like he may have just recently used his Viper Strike. I'm sure that was likely involved in the kill. Viper thinks it's funny, and Clockwerk apparently does not. Top is still pushing in on this tower pretty hard, and bottom at this point, they're holding the top back after killing that Death Prophet. The Dire side down there on that bottom lane has had to pull back. They've got to get skittish. Kunkka, that is. I guess I can stop referring to him as they. He is not. Multiple people. More damage. Sinking in on the tower. Oh my! Laser and a heat-seeking missile. The Bloodseeker's close. 11 hit points. I'm pretty sure he was under 10 at one point in time there. He needs to probably just back all the way out because he's really close to getting ganked. And a matter of fact, Bane is looking for it. Bane knew he was low. Riki's waiting for that level 6, that permanent invisibility. Another laser goes off. Tinker just popping his abilities off as he should be. Looks like Slark's being a little bit sneaky. Death Prophet is back in the mix, but Kunkka's out now. So this bottom Dire lane still needs to be careful. Riki getting dived on. He's going to get nightmared. They did get a laser and heat-seeking rocket off, but they didn't get Riki, and the tower takes out the Tinker, which is awesome. Sadly, nobody had enough damage on the Tinker to be attributed the kill, so the gold does go to the Dire. That's okay. It means it's split up amongst the team. A lot of times that just has a lesser impact, though, overall, than if it were to go to a specific hero. Slark and Enchantress still staying sneaky over here. I'm not sure where Kunk's run off to. I guess I just glanced at him a second ago. He's going to jungle the Dire Woods. Riki jumping on Bane. It looks like he's got a high chance here. One more attack. He'll take it. Oh, but a heat-seeking missile and a laser from Tink not only saves the Bane, but puts Riki out. That was a nice kill, and this is starting to get a little bit one-sided in the Radiant's favor. They're pushing both exterior lanes very well, and they're taking kills while they're doing it. Even more so in these last hits, you can see Enchantress and Tinker leading the fight. That's one on each side. They are getting the best farm off. Another rocket flare. I feel like he's using that for damage, and that's kind of odd. I mean, it does damage, but normally you would see him trying to trap more with his power cogs. This, I guess, oh, he's leveled it, so it is doing 200 damage. I'm not going to comment much on a little bit of damage coming in here on bottom. I'm not going to comment much on item builds and the exact abilities you should be getting because, honestly, I don't know it yet. I've just picked up Dota kind of recently, and I played a lot of Warcraft 3 Dota, but some of it doesn't translate. And what does is a little bit different. Riki looking for an Enchantress kill, but he's not going to get it. She's going to be careful. Not as careful as she could be, taking a couple tower hits, but it's going to be okay. Slark picks up a haste. It looks like he's coming top. Riki goes bottom, Slark comes top, looking for a gank on the Bloodseeker. Bane and Tinker are aware. They're holding their spells. They've both got plenty of mana. And what's it going to be? Are they going to dive in on it? We've got a couple Dire rallying at bottom. Looks like they're going to push back off that tower and maybe go for a gank and or a tower push themselves. Bloodseeker's got to be really careful right here. Matter of fact, Slark, he's in a position where if creeps pass here, they'll actually get a glimpse of him. So he's got to be a little bit careful about that. It looks like, oh, the Enchantress going down to the tri-lane bottom. Actually, this is a quad. We have 4 Dire heroes down here. The Viper skips down for a little gank there, and it worked perfectly. Oh, and the Bloodseeker's caught out. Slark ended up being in the perfect position to get the pounce off and take it. Bane and Tinker, of course, setting that up for him. This tower is going to go down. Likewise, this tower has a very high chance of going down. The fortification is popped, but I think they've got enough here. Honestly, just with those mobs and a couple heroes, let alone the three-way. The Radiant's grouping up in mid. No, it looks like Slark is going to come bottom and try to answer this. He really doesn't have an answer for it, though. He's going to have to back off. He'll be able to catch this lane and kind of push it back their way, but that's about all he could hope to do. And the top tower fell in turn. Interesting little turnaround. The kills have been a little bit of one-sided in the favor of the Radiant, but the tower takings, they're showing some even play. And given that we're coming up on that 12-15 minute mark, I think we'll check a few other stats here. Enchantress actually leading with the kills on 5 and only 1 death, which is pretty nice. Followed up by Slark, who, funny enough, oh, we have a Kunkka gank over here, maybe. No, it's just Slark. Clockwerk did send a little rocket flare, but he's not actually in it. This is all Slark's doing. Riki's going to slow Slark down with a smoke screen there. Kunk gets taken, though, and Slark gets out. Successful gank. Clockwerk involved to some degree, but not thoroughly. So yeah, as I was saying, Slark and Enchantress on the top. Funny, both coming from that lane. That lane down there is the really the MVP duo for this game so far. They're what's given the Radiant the definitive edge. Looks like we have a tower push coming out. We got Tink, Bane, and Clockwerk, and they're going to get a jump on the Death Prophet. They're going to take her with ease. All this nuke power here. Not that the Clockwerk has a lot of nuke, but he's got just enough to make a lot between these 3 heroes. And it looks like the Dire is going to respond with a defend. They've got at least 3 here and a 4th coming. So they should have no problems holding the middle tower. Matter of fact, some engagements are about to go down. The Viper's going to start with the initiation. Wrong! Kunkka sends a ghost ship. A laser goes off, but it doesn't hit enough. The ghost ship hits 2. Bloodseeker on the Clockwerk. He gets him. The Tink looks like he's getting away. Not enough focus on him. I think they have an opportunity to push the tower here, but they need the creep wave. They're going to wait for it. Meanwhile, Enchantress is going to try to pick up a bottom tower, or at least get some damage on it. And we've got a couple heading bottom. It looks like it's Kunk and Bloodseeker. They're looking for a gank on the Enchantress. I still think a lot of damage could be done to this tower here. They're going to go for it. And a matter of fact, Kunkka is going to loop back over to mid. Decide not to go after the Enchantress, and all is well. The Enchantress actually ends up teleporting to mid for the defend, and we're going to have another team fight opened up by the Death Prophet's Crypt Swarm. We have a rocket flare. Oh man, we've got some poison attacks from the Venom coming off here. Big damage going on the Enchant. The Tink is also caught. Riki's right on top of him. Got a good smoke screen. It looks like the Tink's going to get out. Bane's coming in. Nightmare goes off on the Viper. More swarms hitting. More lasers, more rockets. And the whole Radiant team is here. Bloodseeker coming in fresh. Tink's got no chance. Unless the Bloodseeker bails, he does, for fear of his own life. Gets nightmared. He might get eaten anyway by the Enchantress. Riki's trying to keep things even. Slark going down fast. And the Radiant comes in strong together. And they are showing some real dominance so far in this match. Oh, Hoodman. Bloodseeker asking for the end of the game. Requesting it. He's telling them to just come wipe it out. Well, they're going to take this tower down at least. It's a little bit early for them to go for the base racks. But they're going to do with this much at least. Kunkka wants to defend, but he needs to be careful. Oh, man, the enchant goes down. It slows him. That's an impetus. A few go off. God, when you're running from the Enchantress, she does so much damage. Not to mention that she's, actually, I was going to say she's farmed up a little bit, but it really doesn't apply to her damage. None of her items really give her more damage. A little bit of a nightmare on the Death Prophet. Nothing's really going to happen here. She silences back. There's a tower here. There's just enough Dire Heroes and just few enough Radiant that I think Bane's going to have to back off, and he is. We've got an Enchantress looking for some tricky positioning, looking for a flank. Crypt Swarm just off the mark of Bane. Nightmare again, this time going down on the Viper. Silence hits Bane again. We have a convergence, 3 Dire. Bane goes down. Enchantress is coming out of her silly flank. Rally in mid, Tinker as well. We still have a 3-piece for the Dire in mid, but we're quickly getting to those numbers for the Radiant. Radiant coming through the jungle as well. Or I guess Kunkka going to jungle more so. Riki coming right down to the mid. Rocket Flare, that was good vision. That was actually really good use of Rocket Flare because that tells the Radiant exactly where most of the Dire team is. They're going to push mid a little bit. Not sure I agree with this. I think the focus from Radiant should probably be on the mid or on the bottom tower right now, as that tier 1 is still up. Riki being tricky in the woods. Enchantress, Clockwerk, Tink, converging. Looks like the Dire want to engage. The Viper's going to open it up. He's going to take a lot of damage. The rearm hits from Tinker, but Riki gets a smoke screen up. Enchantress is trading really well considering there are 2 heroes there, but the Bloodseeker's going to take her right after she picks up the Viper, and Riki's going to get the Tink. Clockwerk is running for his dear life. We have Riki, Viper, and Bloodseeker going into that. Viper lost it, but Riki and Bloodseeker come out fresh after killing 2 of the strongest heroes on the Radiant side. Bane's going to jump in with a Nightmare. Bloodseeker's looking rough. Riki helps. Bane is shut down. Oh, the hook shot from the Clockwerk gets Bloodseeker. And another Dire jumps in the fight just to get ganked as well. A pounce. We've got a silence. We've got battery assault going off. Riki's got to be careful. Kunkka. Ooh, it's nasty. Be real careful, Kunkka. The Dire are getting rocked. They are just eating it right now. The Viper's going to teleport back in. I don't think he's got it for the Bane, though. There are just too many Radiant near. Slark with the pounce. It's going to lock the Viper down. The Viper's liking the fight, but the Radiant show up from the back. A Torrent ends up taking the Slark out, and a Ghost Ship is going to land home on the Bane. I don't believe it. Oh, Kunk, that's nasty. He's nightmared. They got to be careful, though. Oh, Kunk goes down. Radiant still converged right here on middle. They want this middle tower. And they are doing the damage to take it. March of the Machines comes out. I feel like I haven't seen much of that from Tinker, and sure enough, he probably just picked it up, having 1 level in the skill. It's amazing tower pushing ability. It's really hard for the enemy team to fight in a March of the Machines. I would expect him to use it again the second it's off cooldown if they're really serious about taking this tower. It looks like they're going to have to back off, though. We've got some Dire convergence, and we've got some Radiant fleeing occurring. Clockwerk, I'm not sure exactly why he's going bottom. I guess I did say the focus was down there. Oh, we have some team happenings. Bane is going to eat it. There's just too many Dire together. Smokescreen's a little off the mark. Tink is going to go down, though. The Swarm gets it. All of them had a hand. It looks like the Bloodseeker takes the kill, though. We have a teleport in from Slark. He wants blood, but there are still 3 Dire here. Death Prophet's in a bad spot, and the Dire are backing off. What? They had a free and easy Slark kill. A hook shot comes into Bloodseeker. They're just instantly turning this right back around on the Dire. And oh my god, can the Bloodseeker even get away? Kunk trying for the Torrent. It's off the mark. Viper's in it. He is going to get wiped real fast. He's got creeps on his backside blocking him in. They might actually get the deny. Nope. Viper's going to go down to the Radiant, and these kills are huge on the side of the Radiant. It looks like our Enchantress is getting ballsy in the situation where they just have the presence. The Dire only have 2 here, but they've got 2 in the right spot to do the damage to the Enchantress. Oh, Slark with the Shadow Dance on Riki's going to tear him down. Kunk's got to get out. They've got no chance. There's way too many Radiant, and they're dominating way too hard. Don't do it, Kunk. Don't do it. No, Kunk. And down and out he goes. Did he just set still? I think he's given up. There are just too many kills on the board. The Radiant side nearly doubling up the Dire. They're saying GG. I guess that's the Radiant calling an advanced GG. A little bit of a dick move there, Slark. Might want to watch that. It's the kind of thing that might make a Bloodseeker go furious and start ripping holes. The Radiant are going to go for a Roche. Can't say I disagree. Matter of fact, they probably could have earlier with as dominant as they've been on the map throughout the game and all the kills. By no means is Roche going to go down fast. It is fairly early still in the game, but he is going to go down. Let's take a little bit of an update on these last hits. Numbers should be getting a little bit higher. Again, you can tell just by the numbers that you're seeing here, this is not a high skill game. It is an average to low skill game. Getting there in the matchmaking though, I'm sure. Roche goes. Who's it going to be? Slark, I'm guessing. Yes, Slark picks up. The Aegis Death Prophet in the wrong spot. Get out, Death Prophet. She's dead. Riki's coming in for some killing. But it's not in his favor, really. He's going to scout some things out. Doubt he's going to hit anybody. He's probably going to stay quiet. Kunk. Oh, stuck in the wrong spot. They can totally take him if they want him, and they're going to. Kunk's down. Riki's got to be careful. If he had been more of a factor, they might have some detection to take him out. And if they had detection, he would be no chance. He would be out of here real fast. Middle tower going down. It looks like the Radiance has, just by virtue of chance, got a little bit of a push going on bottom there. They're doing some damage to the tower. Other than that, all of the towers look fine on the Radiant side, though. They're going to think a little bit better about coming in here. They're not going to quite do it. Riki's keeping a good tab, and all the Dire are back up. They're coming out to the front. And actually, it looks like Riki, it's showing a DC on him. I'm not sure if that's the case. I wonder if he disconnected right out here in the middle. Hopefully, he'll be coming back. There's an engagement. There are more Dire here than there are Radiant. Matter of fact, it's only the Tinker. X marks the spot, draws him back. They're not going to be able to capitalize, though. They've got to back up. There's a lot of damage still coming out from just these few Radiant heroes here. Bane's getting focused. Bloodseeker's got to be careful. Lasers and such, tearing him down. Clockwerk and Enchantress looking for it. That was actually a really good torrent from the Kunkka. That's going to scare him back. Just enough of a disable to get them off the Bloodseeker's trail. He's going to get back and heal. And the push is going to continue. They're keeping presence right out here in the front. They're going to keep the tower right on the middle here. And if I had to guess, I would say one of these heroes is probably going to run off to an orbital lane and try to get the swing going in the Radiant favor there. The Radiant are still, they are actually doubling the Dire up now, and they are so dominant on the map. Bane being a little bit ballsy going up on the tower to get a little bit of a nightmare off. It looks like he was also brain sapping some. Heat-seeking missile returned with a swarm. A Viper. That looks like that was not Viper ultimate, just a regular poison attack. The Tinker, extremely low. Can Riki get it? I think so. It actually looks like it was a Death Prophet. Exorcism Spirit. And oh my god, the Radiant just out of position. They're all going down. Bane looks terrible. Riki's surely got him. The Enchantress gets ruptured, but she's smart. She sets still for it. I think it's still going to be the end of her, though. She just doesn't have enough health. She's going to try to heal up, but there are a couple Dire heroes here. Clockwerk comes in to save the day. His power cogs are stopping a lot of them. Enchantress might get away. No, the Bloodseeker's going for the kill, and I've got a bad feeling about the Clockwerk's chances up there. His health is falling fast. Sure enough, the Clockwerk goes down. The Enchantress is right behind it. She is silenced, but she's got plenty of health. Slark coming in at the last second, taking the Bloodseeker.
Points for trying.
Enchantress is going to return to the front. Her Wisps are doing a great job. Nature's Attendants doing an amazing job at healing her up here. Slark and Enchantress, they're going to keep the pressure on, and now even bottom is swinging their way. I'm sure it'll be swinging back pretty soon. The interference of that tower. Radiant needs to be a little bit careful here. All the Dire but Bloodseeker are up, and they're surely thinking defense. There's not much the Radiant team out here, and they're thinking better of it. They're going to fly right out here, right past the tower, a matter of fact. And it looks like they're going to try to push for this bottom tower. It's low on life, so it's not long for this world. Enchantress taking a couple hits there. I think she actually used an Urn of Shadows on herself. Attacks will take that Urn effect off, so she was just denied most of that effect by that tower hit. Death Prophet thinking defensively on this bottom tower. This feels a little bit risky from the Death Prophet. If a couple more heroes show up, no, scratch a couple more heroes. She might be screwed right now. Slark's on it, and he's going to take it, but he's going to go down to the tower. Of course, he has the Aegis, so he's going to come right back. Bloodseeker's got to be careful. Slark's going to pounce. He's going to miss, though. We've got quite a few Radiant and Dire. We have a whole team convergence. Slark's going to be focused because he's way up here alone. Bane also getting hit by a torrent. He's looking kind of nasty, but there's still a lot of damage coming out from the Radiant team. They're going to force the Dire back. Enchantress tanking a tower. One-on-one's the Viper. The Viper had been impacted a little bit. Clockwerk coming in from behind. He's going to sink Kunkka. Riki can't mess with it either. The Clockwerk is going to get out, though, and I think they can keep pushing this bottom. The Radiant have still just stayed on the domination. They're not quite doubling up the Dire side now, but yeah, the map presence is still there. The map presence is easily doubly effective. The towers are still falling, taking damage. Right now, this bottom tower is looking iffy. Death Prophet's going to try to defend. She's being risky, though, because there's a lot of damage potential on this Radiant team. Oh, she gets nightmared. Enchantress is going to wait for it. Bloodseeker's presence, though, is going to let the Death Prophet get away with it. Tinker being a little risky, taking some tower shots, wanting to get extra damage on that Death Prophet. Bloodseeker's going for it. The Rupture, Tinker was moving for a little bit, and it's going to be too much. Or is it? Oh, the Bloodseeker! Same time. Bloodseeker and Tink fall. Riki all over Bane. Some silence, tower shots. Bane doesn't stand a chance. Death Prophet's looking a little bit nasty, but Enchantress has to be careful. There are 3 Dire heroes here. They're going to converge, and she's going down. A little bit of return right there. I'd say overall, the Dire took that engagement. The Radiant engaged well into the Dire, but just didn't have quite the teamwork that they needed. They were all engaging a little bit separately, spreading their damage out, not focusing consistently, focusing on one hero, losing him, then switching it over and focusing on another. Overall, though, the advantage still heavily in the Radiant side. Kunkka being a little risky in mid. He's going to push up for some mob kills. They don't have a good bead on enemy heroes. As a matter of fact, the Clockwerk with a perfect rocket flare checks Kunkka's actions out. There's an invisibility rune down here. It looks like it wasn't bottled. Oh, no, he just got it. Okay, so we've got an invisible Clockwerk looking for a gank. Death Prophet, what's she putting together? I'm actually not sure right off the top of my head exactly what that is. I feel like I should know. I feel like it's a sheep stick. Death Prophet getting jumped on by Slark. He's using his Shadow Dance. It doesn't look pretty for the Death Prophet. What did she juke back there for? That actually let the Tinker take the kill with a laser. Riki looking on at the carnage. Doesn't want to engage. Clockwerk catches Bloodseeker trying to farm, and there is no contest. Clockwerk ices his face. The push coming back to mid. Dire are in position to defend. It looks like the Radiant are going to engage a little bit better, using some abilities off the Tink, getting some damage on Kunk. Riki being aggressive. In comes the Viper. March of Machines is down. The Dire shouldn't be fighting, but a nice ghost ship lands. Tinker just evaporates, and Bane is right behind him. Slark has jumped in. He's going to take a Viper, and the Clockwerk got Kunkka. Now it's down to Riki, Slark, and the Clockwerk, and of course the Radiant are coming out on the top of that one. We have a near team wipe. The Death Prophet stayed alive, but just by being very skittish. And she cannot defend this push, even from Clockwerk and Slark. They should really be all over this tower right now. I guess they don't have the mobs in it, but still. They should be looking for this mid-push wall. Dire heroes are off the map. Bloodseeker, he's going to come back in with a Rupture, and Slark isn't being very smart about it. He's going to move anyway. He's taking a lot of damage fast. The Bloodseeker's got his thirst. It looks like Blood Rage is even on Slark. Slark's going to go down. Nice job there, Bloodseeker. Actually, that was more of a failure on Slark. When the Bloodseeker puts Rupture on you, you can't move. Moving hurts you. It looks like Slark is just overly confident. They've been doubling up the other team on kills. Slark's nice and farmed up. This team is just denied gold. None of them have the items put together that they would like. They're all still in process on builds. Whereas the Radiant team has had a lot of farm. Just in all ways, shapes, and forms. I suppose we could take a look at some of that. There's a graph around here somewhere. Look at that. My God. This is overall gold earned. And this is the story of the match. The Radiant are heavily in the lead. A redonkulous lead. Experience as well. They're all higher level. Everything, odd-wise, is stacked against the Dire in this match. They're running in 1s and 2s. Viper's being a little bit risky farming their side of the map. Riki's not going to stay quiet. They are going to let the enemy team know that they're pushing mid out a little bit. Looks like there's some convergence. Oh, the Viper's been sniffed out. Tinker is all over it. Oh, Riki jumps in, though. This Tink is going down. Nice response there with the Dire. They came together perfectly. Looks like the Enchantress is going to think better of it and back out. The Bane now being risky. All of a sudden, the Radiant are not sticking together. And one at a time, no matter how farmed you are, against 4 or 5 heroes, against 2 even. This is nasty, but all 4 are there. And that is a dead Bane. Dire team coming together in the right way. So skittish they know they cannot go anywhere alone. Rightly so, but together, they're strong enough to pick off a few Radiant here and there. Looks like Slark and Enchant, they're getting a little bit wise. They're like, let's not throw this game now. Let's just keep a firm grasp. Let's stay somewhat together. And now, all of a sudden, the Dire are splitting up. Not heeding the advice. Or I should say, not heeding the praise that I just attributed to them. Clockwerk, that's a nasty spot. Tink and Bloodseeker are going to take him down fast. And all of a sudden, Slark and Enchantress are going to come out in the middle. Looking for a Viper, they're going to get it fast. But that reveals their position, and the Bloodseeker and Riki are just so fast. Oh man, Slark looking for the pounce. It's off the mark. Bloodseeker's going to engage and think better of it. The smokescreen, keeping the silence on Slark. That's a nice move. They're getting a lot of health off Slark. Kunkka with the ghost ship. It's terribly far off the mark. Next marks the spot. Does put the Enchantress in a little bit of danger. Slark, again, being bullheaded with his movement, with his positioning. Oh, onto the Bloodseeker. He's going to get him. Slark's almost full health. And he is going to move on the Death Prophet now. Dire's got to back off.
Gotcha.
This Enchantress-Slark duo right here has been MVP of the game. It was that way early. It's continued to be that way. Kunkka and Riki smart to back up behind the tower. Once again, Radiant coming together on this middle. I might say that a switch off to top to take that tower would be kind of nice. But who am I to critique? They're the ones winning the game. I have Scatty up for Slark. That is amazing. It looks like he's putting together a Yash. Could be for a Manta style, could be for a Sangan Yash. I would expect it to go Manta style, actually. A Ghost Ship, it's going to be on the mark for Bane. Slark, though, in the meantime, is going to take Kunkka down. Riki's going to try to get Slark, but he thinks better of it and backs out. Viper, more damage, but they just can't tear that Slark down. Enchantress in the mix. She's taking tower shots. Enchantress is in danger. Riki's going to get the backstabs for it. Enchantress is going down. Bane's next. They've got the damage for it. Oh, but Slark in the mix. Viper's got no chance. Bloodseeker needs to be careful. Bane trying to run, gets killed by the Rupture. Bloodseeker is now taking the focus of the Radiant, but the Radiant are running out. Tinker goes down. It's just Slark. Can he take it? The Death Prophet losing health, but not fast enough. Riki gonna sink the putt. No, it's gonna be a Spirit from the Death Prophet. Oh, he's gonna use a little bit of a runaway, I guess, is what he's gonna use. Oh, Shadow Dance is done. He's coming right back. He's gaining a lot of health fast. The Death Prophet almost one-shotted there at the end. Not at all one-shotted, really. She was low on health. Still, second he got to her, touched her, she evaporated. Slark and Clockwerk coming together. Kunk looking at a gank. He's not running fast enough. Looks like the root from the pounce didn't hit it, but it doesn't matter. That was actually a decent torrent, but it wasn't timed well with X marks the spot. The torrent was good anyway, but the Kunk's gonna fall.
Boom, there it goes.
Mid being pushed in. Still, I can't even say yet again at this point. This middle is nothing but hurt. Just in pain. Barracks getting raxed on by some regular mobs. Honestly, the Radiant, even just a couple heroes, could be in here with it right now, given that the Dire are down a few and they're so heftily in the lead. Oh, matter of fact, Slark going 1 on 3. He's got the confidence. Bloodseeker looks like he's going to get out, and Slark, stupid move, man. Tore down. Didn't even get half health killed. Half health taken off the Bloodseeker. Looks like the Radiant are thinking about another Rashi hit. That might happen. Clockwerk looking at an illusion rune. I think they could do it, but they got to kind of be careful. The Dire are coming out fast here. Some of their heroes have got the movement speed. The Radiant are thinking better of it. They're going to back off.
Do it with flair.
A rocket flare. It's a good place for it. It's going to spot the Bloodseeker. It does not spot Riki, and Riki does spot their attempt to Roche. So here it goes. What is going to be the answer from the Dire? It looks like they're going to come down to try to engage the Radiant. Everything's going to be quiet. Everybody's just a little bit skittish. The Radiant are all here. And instantly, we're going to have a couple deaths. Actually, Tink and Slark from the Radiant side. Really surprising. Death Prophet also went down. First casualty. Riki staying in the action, but there's just a few Radiant grouped up here, and the Dire took some hurt in that little engagement. I would say they took the edge, though. And you know what? I said Slark died. I actually don't think he died in that fight. I think he was still dead from before. I think only Tinker died in that fight. Still, that's a good trade, though, because they haven't killed Tinker that much. Death Prophet has died quite a bit. Kunkka goes down to the Enchantress. I didn't see it, but was it really surprising? Rocket Flare's keeping tabs on the positioning. Riki in back. I think the Dire have a decent chance at doing some good damage here, especially with just Bane. Bane and Enchantress is too far away from him. Bane goes down quick to Riki. He does have a Skull Basher. He's got a Yasha. Bloodseeker coming in to finish the Bane off. He's going to get it. Enchantress trying to focus the Bloodseeker, but she's got to get out. We've got a Viper and Riki on him. On her, I suppose. Slark's going to jump in. He gets the root on Bloodseeker. Can he take him? No. It looks like the Bloodseeker's going to get out unless the Clockwerk has something to say about it. But the Slark is taking a lot of hurt from the Viper and the Riki. There are a lot of Radiant mobs here doing damage. And again, Slark goes down, and the Clockwerk quickly to follow up. The Dire are putting together some combos here. They're finally starting to be together in the right places at the right time, and they're finally starting to get some items together. Viper sitting with a Sang and Yash and a Vanguard. Riki, as I said, that Cranium Basher. He's got a Yash. Could go Manta style. That's the way I would expect it to go. Matter of fact, does the Orb of Venom tell me? What is the Manta style's recipe? No, it doesn't. It requires an Ultimate Orb, not an Orb of Venom, so I'm not sure what he's building. Suppose I could have looked up the Orb of Venom to see. Death Prophet being really risky in mid. They don't know where all the Radiant heroes are. Tinker not going to jump on it, though. He is alone, whether Death Prophet knows it or not. Dire are going to come together. A couple heroes at least. Kunkka. Kunkka being skittish, rightly so. He should be. And they're just going to gather around to watch the mobs fight. No need for heroes in this battle. Mobs are doing plenty of good job. And actually, we have a few Radiant heroes. We're up to 3 now, including the Enchantress here. She's going to dive on the Death Prophet. I guess it's not a dive, but there are a lot of Dire heroes here. Nice torrent from Kunk. They're going to get some good damage in. She's using Nature's Attendance. It looks like she's being a little cocky dancing here. Using the Black King Bar to be invulnerable. She's going to try to get Kunk. I'm not sure it's going to land. Viper under a Nightmare. Bloodseeker coming in at the last second. He's going to be a little skittish, but they are going to take the Enchantress down. We have a Tinker and a Bane still in the mix. I think this favors the Dire, though. Tinker knows that he's trying to get out. The Viper slows are keeping him from moving. Riki blinks in for the kill. Bane and now Clockwerk. They both have to be careful. Although the Radiant would like to fight under this tower. The Dire probably need to back off of that. And Slark is coming in. He used a little pounce there just to get to the front line faster. Oh, Bloodseeker. Looks like he gets a Blood Rage on Bane, but he's got to back off. Viper going toe-to-toe with the Slark. Slark is invisible due to Shadow Dance. Viper's going to go down. Slark's still up. He's doing huge damage. Bloodseeker just surviving there from a little bit of health off that hero. A little bit of his bloodbath kicking in. The Dire are still feeling aggressive here. Rightly so, too. Slark's low on health. If they all 3 focus, Slark will go down pretty quick here. Bane's got nothing for it. The Dire are staying in the mix, and they've got a little bit of a push coming to this tower. They're going to think better of it, though, and back off. Slark getting the pounce off. He's going to go for Kunk. Kunk's going to fall fast. They need his help. Nice torrent, Kunk. That ghost ship was terrible. Kunk is going to fall. Looks like Riki's going to be able to take the Tink down here with backstabs. And actually Slark, oh no, the Tink is going to go down after being silenced. Slark trying to find the Riki, but he just can't get it. Oh, the Bloodseeker jumping on Bane, but gets taken out. And matter of fact, I think Riki went down right there too, didn't he? Yeah, Riki fell to Slark. That's a little bit nasty. There's two very strong Radiant members up. Oh, and the Death Prophet's going to get sniffed out. Slark staying on it, getting the pounce.
Go on, get out of here.
Arguably the two strongest members of Team Radiant right now, still on the map. A lot of Dire's been wiped out. A couple coming back. Looks like they should be good for the defense.
Radiant's going
to push it, though. And they should. Again, this bottom lane, Dire just getting the creeps coming in. They're using the fortification to keep the tower alive. Clockwerk's going to respond. Try to keep things up there. Radiant are going for the racks. It's going to be a little bit risky, though. Slark's jumping in. He's focusing Kunkka immediately. X marks the spot with the torrent. It's nice. Keeps Slark right there for a stun, but he's too much. Slark's too powerful. Wipes the Viper out. Takes Kunkka down like it's nothing. Even under the fire of the Tier 3 tower. The Rax is happening finally. It looks like even the Dire like that this is finally happening. That Rax is finally going down. That the Radiant is finally picking up an advantage that may very well lead directly to the end of the game. Staying a solid 15 kills ahead of the Radiant. I think since like the 5-minute mark. Nah, not quite. Since like the 15-minute mark, though. They got ahead a kill a minute for those first 15 minutes. Oh, a rupture on Enchantress. She's being careless about it. The Bloodseeker's going to get away, and she is too low. It looks like it was actually the Bloodseeker's rupture that took her. Enchantress goes down. There's some farm happening. Riki's got a Reaver, along with that Yasha and Cranium Basher. He's getting nasty. The Radiant are going to take a Roche down. Who's going to pick up the Aegis? I'd guess Slark. Incorrect. Tinker is actually going to pick up the Aegis. Riki's checking him out. Using a rocket flare to check some of the Dire out. Riki is following. They're pushing mid again. This could get a little bit dangerous. Oh, man. Slark on the Bloodseeker takes a lot of health fast. Another decent torrent from Kunkka. Going to slow things down. The Viper, he's going to go all the way against the Slark. It's not going to happen, though, and Bane is caught out. Down he goes fast. Riki in from the back. Decent damage to Slark, but he wants Tink. I wonder if he knows that Tink is the one with the Aegis. Actually, Tink doesn't have the Aegis. Riki took Tink out. He already used the agents. Dire's coming together in the right kind of ways, but Slark, so powerful. He's going to tear Kunkka down immediately. They've got to get out. Bloodseeker and Death Prophet. Actually, Slark, it turned around fast. This exorcism is hitting the mark. Clockwerk and Tink going to back out. They know with Slark going down. Some of the items, some of the levels that that the Dire are putting together here is starting to work. Taking out one of the beefiest heroes on their side, the Slark. Tinker's got to be careful. The Enchantress is here, but she's got to be careful. She's been caught alone a few times. I feel like the Radiant are they're not as stellarly just dominating as they were before. There's a lot of turnover here. There's a lot of Dire just bringing it together at the right time. This may be one such time. There's a fortification. There's no damage happening on that tower. Riki comes in fast on the Tinker. The Tinker's going down. He's out. Bloodseeker takes some hurt. Looks like Slark tries to focus on the Riki, but Riki gets away. Enchantress holding the rest of the Dire off. Oh, man, between the Slark and the Riki goes down first. The Slark's low, though. A ghost ship hits the Enchantress. There's still a lot of Dire here. Enchantress spirits trying to help her, but it's just not enough. The Dire take it. Didn't quite get Slark. He got out of there, but the Bloodseeker's going for it. He's got to be careful. Bloodseeker tore down fast. This damage from the Slark is insane. More than 400. Looks like they're still poaching. There are 3 Dire up. Not necessarily the strongest on the team, though. This Death Prophet looking risky. Oh, but with the Viper, that Death Prophet's going to survive due to her spirits. And that Slark's got to be careful. That Viper with the Kunkka in at the end. Nice kill, Death Prophet. Very nice. Those spirits do damage and return life to her. Kept her alive even through the Slark's insane 400 damage attacks. Slark thinks it's fun. He's still very confident in their ability to take this match. Rightly so. They're still dominating. Looks like we have a natural push. Took the tower off the top for the Radiant. Clockwerk. Picking up a haste rune. Actually, using the haste rune, picking up a regeneration rune. Dire sticking together. They need to be. 2 of their heroes are down right now. Arguably 2 of the 3 highest damage dealing. Counting Viper in on that too. They still need to be careful though. With a couple down, only 1 Radiant is down. It is Slark, but they don't know where all the heroes are, so there could be 4 Radiant waiting right outside of their vision. And there are at least 3. With another one gathering up. Going for this middle push again. They shouldn't be pushing middle right now. Their axe is down. They could try to take these towers and just go straight for the kill. But they should try to put together a push on top or bottom and get racks going there as well. Either of these other lanes will split the attention defense-wise of the Dire heroes and make it a lot more difficult for them to keep things together. Riki, he sees the Enchantress. She's out alone. The Dire's going to try to go for it, but they're seeing some Radiant heroes in the middle. Tink is going to fire off some missiles as he runs away. Clockwerk also giving his gumption, but backing off. The Radiant back up to their tower. The Dire need to be careful here, especially with the March of the Machines. Kunk's going to use the boat, and he's going to go in, but Kunk's going to go down fast. The boat lands beautifully. Kunk is still alive, but as I said, getting taken out. And oh my god, so much damage from the Dire team. 3 down for the Radiant. It's going to be Bane, Tink, and Enchantress. The Dire sticking in a little too long here, though. No, they take yet another and the tower, and even the Clockwerk. Full team wipe. 5 for 1. The Dire come out beautifully. Beautifully. All Radiant down. Do we have buybacks? We have low gold counts. Nobody on Radiant has buyback. Clockwerk might. I think he actually does. I think the Clockwerk could buy back, but he's going to wait it out. They get the top tower. Dire has a chance for racks here, and all of a sudden, the kills aren't that far off. It's only 10 off now. This just became competitive for the first time in this whole match. The Dire might actually have something to say about the Radiance's domination. The racks is happening. There's still a few primary heroes on the Radiance team that are a ways off. Both barracks do fall, ranged and melee. The Dire would be good to back out here. They're sticking in. Nightmare going to hit the Bloodseeker. It's not going to amount to much. Riki getting caught by a couple spells from the Tinker, but he's getting beefy enough that it's not really phasing him. The Radiant are going to defend. They are going to push the Dire back, but that was a nice victory. The racks, the result of the team wipe. Beautiful play there by Dire. Their team just came together in the right way. Focused the right heroes. It got very clear who they were the most scared of, and they did the right thing in putting them down. The Radiant, their positioning, it's defensive mostly. These guys are coming a little far out, though, considering they don't see any Dire heroes. Got a couple more joining up now. It's getting a little bit safer. Looks like the Dire would like another push. Death Prophet poaching very far forward. There are 4 heroes here. Dire has to back out. And they are. They see it. Death Prophet, no, you got to back out. Just nothing but go. Slark smells blood. He's after it. He's thinking better of it, though. He's going to stay with the team. He's been ganked a couple times alone. A torrent, good intentions, bad aim.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
A lot of creeps here. Radiant don't care. They're going to start putting their damage out. They're being a little bit more skittish now. I like this. They're being serious. Here comes the ghost ship. Oh, it lands nicely, hitting Slark. And a torrent afterwards. That was a nice combo from Kunkka. The spirits, the Dire, they're all turning it on at the same time. And the Slark falls. The Enchantress is going down. The Radiant have no answer. Bane is caught. Tinker gets out, but barely. Skin on his teeth. The rocket doesn't even phase the team. They're together. Right place at the right time. There's a couple Radiant down, but I think they've got another chance to do some damage here. I'm not sure the middle lane's the best place for them to do the damage, and it looks like Riki knows. He's going to try to come push this bottom. Well, the Dire move right in on Tink. Bloodseeker getting a Blood Rage off on him. Going to think better of it at the tier 3. Viper being a little bit too ballsy. He's going to have to back off, and he is. They're not at the best status there on hit points. Riki coming up at the bottom. If they rally bottom, this could be a nice Rax push. A couple of these heroes need to be real careful, though. Tinker, he's got the nukes. He's going to use it. Heat-seeking missile first. Laser on the Bloodseeker. The Bloodseeker needs to be careful. Taking a tower shot. Riki on the Tink. He goes down fast. Clockwerk, he's got to get out. He's not going to make it. Viper and Riki. Damage is too much. The Death Prophet was in on it, too. The tower goes down. They're looking at bottom racks. These barracks are falling fast. Down they go. We've got some serious damage coming out of the Dire team. None of them quite looking as insane as Slark. But all of them coming up close to that 200 range. Slark's about to come back, and it actually looks like that damage was likely from a double damage or something. Over 400 damage. Was pretty early for him to have that now, too, that I think of it. A little bit of engagement from the Dire. They're going to back off, though. They got the racks they want. We've got some solid creeps pushing in from 2 different waves. The Radiant are now going to have to dedicate a hero to defense. And they may even have to push one of the other lanes, which I would recommend pushing bottom. There is still a Rax here. From Dire. The Dire are all going to go farm the Radiant jungle. It looks like this little camp here got stacked. Death Prophet's going to nom every little bit of those creeps. Bloodseeker, after a little bit of money, is going to take off. It looks like he might be close to his buy. A Radiance. Wow. Wow, yeah. This game has gone long enough that that farm is happening. Get a little update on the kills here. That Enchantress and that Slark, 21 each. Wow. Nobody on the Dire side can compare. But overall, they're not doing bad. And that Tinker's taking a lot of deaths. That Bane is taking a lot of deaths. Maybe giving too much of that money away to the Dire team. Oh, Riki picks up a double damage. And he's got eyes for Bane. Bane has no chance. Bane's down. Bane's dead. Opens with a 358 attack. He hasn't even used his blink yet. He uses the Nightmare to try to get away, but I have a feeling Riki's got enough movement speed to catch up. No, the Nightmare lasts long enough. The Bane's going to get away. Impressive. Pushing top now. Can't say I disagree with it. Radiant. Dire are converging. Death Prophet. Kunkka. What do we have? We have 3 Radiant up here. We've got an Enchantress, Slark, and Tinker. This might be a little bit difficult for just these 2 Dire heroes. They need to be careful. And we have 2 Dire heroes actually going up the front. 2 of the higher damage heroes on the team. That could be nasty for what's waiting there. Don't have a whole lot to do in that middle lane, though. Don't have a whole lot to do without the help of this top lane. Okay, the defense is set. The ghost ship comes in. Oh, it's actually not bad. It gets the Tink, and it gets a lot of creeps. Wiping out those creeps was great. Great torrent. The Death Prophet gets a nice swarm off, and her spirits are doing work. They are just going to town on these Radiant heroes. The Enchantress has lost a lot of health. Death Prophet goes down, though. Riki's back in it. He's got boots of travel now. He returns fast. There is a March of the Machine, but Tinker goes down quick, and Slark's got no answer for it. Enchantress, she knows she's dead. She's just trying to kill the Kunkka. And the silence! She should have just kept auto-attacking. Kunkka would have went down. He was below 50 health. Riki saves the day. The Dire take it. Radiant get no damage on top. Bloodseeker stays in the middle, keeping a couple of the other Radiant heroes occupied. It looks like he's got a mind for aggression still, too. He has the stack for it. These items, man. Insanity. It's starting to get a little bit crazy all around, though. Yeah, sure enough, Clockwerk has a Radiance and a Gainham Scepter. Oh! Bloodseeker for the Bane snatches it fast. With that movement speed, he's going to get out with ease, too. Clockwerk tries to chase it. He's got a hook shot, but he thinks better of it. Bloodseeker sticking on the bottom, and now we've got Riki coming in. Riki's going to jump on Clockwerk. Clockwerk doesn't stand a chance. Those backstabs as he runs make it all the much faster.
Radiant's middle tower is under under attack.
Tink trying it. He's got to be careful. Tinker jumped on. He should get away, though. Oh, yep, he's going to get away. Even going to pull some dire mobs back into the fountain. Take them out with ease. Bloodseeker taking some tower shots. He doesn't even care. They're taking the towers down, and the towers are going fast. Tinker trying to deny it, but he needs to be careful. Riki does a little blink, and that's almost all it takes. Bloodseeker solo on the tower. The tier 3 are down. We've got damage hitting the Ancient, and this is nasty. Can the Radiant answer the Death Prophets in the mix with their spirits? The Tink's going down fast. All the creeps are in the mix. The Slark is trying, but we've got 3 dire heroes here still. Yep, Riki, he's jumped back in. The spirits as well. Slark's going down way too quick. The Enchantress is caught. She's had. Bane, he's looking for the same thing. Slark, again, almost getting blocked by the creeps. The Ancient falls. I'm barely going to see it here in the top of the screen. And we have a good game. Wow. He didn't lie. That was one hell of a comeback. Like, it wasn't even like a back and forth kind of good match. That was domination that turned into a hell of a comeback. Ha, and check it out. My bud gets a special item out of it. Sweet. Well, there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like Dota, subscribe. I can't say my channel is going to be exclusively Dota-based, but there will be more of it. I do all kinds of other interesting stuff, too, though. And there definitely will be more Dota. So thanks for watching. See you later.